Hey there, I want to welcome you to the Rise of the 1% podcast, where you're going to discover the strategies, the tools, and the insights to dominate and get to the top 1% of your industry. I am Gerald Bass, alongside me, J.C. Williams.
Yes, sir! What's going on, G?
Man, I'm feeling great. How about yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Hey, highly favored and blessed. Like I said last time, man, every day is a blessing.
Absolutely. Every day.
Definitely, man. And even though we're going through some crazy times right now.
Yeah, some crazy things going on in the world.
Right. You know, this is like, you know, I know hopefully this be one of the only experiences that we have, you know, what we going on, because there's a lot of confusion, uncertainty.
Exactly.
You know, it's just with this virus, man, it's got everybody in different phases. You know, you got people that's out here like just taking this to the extent. You know what I mean? That, in my opinion, you know, like just how they, you know, and then it's just like it's like you getting so much misinformation too, you know.
Right. How I look at it, I mean, I seen it in the beginning, a lot of people didn't take it very seriously. Right. And you still have some people that's not really taking it very seriously. Mm-hmm. Then you have some people that do have some fear, right, of the unknown right now, like you say, uncertainty. Then you have some people in panic mode right now.
Exactly. Yeah. And, you know, just my personal opinion, too, because, you know, I went through all the phases myself, all right, when the news was first breaking out about it, you know, and I was hearing about it, I didn't really take it seriously, so I seen the NBA shut down. Right. And when the NBA shut down, I was like, oh, this is something that I need to pay close attention to. Right. And I'm trying to rush to the markets, go find some hand sanitizer. Yeah. Oh, it's all sold out. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. What's going on? You know,
hand sanitizer, people going crazy over toilet paper.
Yeah. And
people going crazy out here with this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, no alcohol in the store. So, you know, this is the first day, you know what I mean? Right. And then moving forward, now, you know, with the quarantine thing, it's like, okay, it was talks about it, right? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you had, like, people, the stores were just packed. You know, people just shopping crazy. You know what I mean? Just in case they had to be quarantined for 2 weeks to a month. Exactly. Going to the store, all the shelves, you know, it's like empty. Yeah. And, you know, it's like, dang, man, it's like a movie. You know what I'm saying? You go into it. And then,
never thought we would have saw anything like this.
Right. Exactly, man. It's crazy. Then, so, you know, now the news is just everywhere, you know, this is like the main topic everywhere you look. Right. Everywhere you look, this is the main topic. Yeah. And sat back, I watched the movie Contagion. Mm-hmm. You know, one of my friends said, hey, watch the movie Contagion. I watched Contagion. When I looked at Contagion, I said, man, every event in here is exactly what's going on right now. You know, so then you start thinking, is this a conspiracy theory? You know what I'm saying? Like, how they could put this in a movie and then have this actually going on in real life, you know, almost 10 years later, you know, because I think that movie came out in 2012 or something like that. Yeah. And, but the thing is now, what we want to hit on today is how to overcome fear and anxiety. Right. And the reason that we want to hit on this topic of that, because like I said, it's everywhere you look now. Right. And a lot of times and this is something negative, it having a major impact on the world. Yeah. This is not nothing that was just in China. No, this has a impact on the world. On the world. Yeah, you know what I mean? World. Exactly. So when anytime negativity a lot of times weighs heavier on people psyche. Right. You know what I mean? And like you said, they be in panic mode. Right. And you know, for us, we want to just give some tips on, especially in this time right now, and this is going to be used for anything, you know, when it comes down to, like, what we love to talk about is, you know, your lifestyle, your business, and your income, you know what I mean? Because, you know, you have fear of money, you have fear on different adventures that you want to do in your, you know what I'm saying, in life, like, you know, just say you want to swim or whatever or not. Then also too, just for business, people that's, you know what I mean, that's afraid to take action on certain things. So all this stuff that we want to talk about, you can apply it. Right. but definitely right now, salute to the country right now, that people that are, taking the necessary precautions,
right.
what I mean?
Yeah, people that are following instructions.
Yeah, following instructions and everything.
Washing your hands and staying in the house as much as you can at this time. I know you have to go out for, things that you need, but besides that, quarantining at this time. To even those that's still putting in the hours in terms of the jobs, in terms of servicing us during these times, like truck drivers.
Right.
Like the nurses and the doctors and those people that are putting in those hours during this time. And some of them even, putting themselves in jeopardy during this time to help others.
Right.
So definitely want to give a salute to them.
Right. And, because, I have a logistics company, so truck drivers is a major part of my company.
Right.
And, I have drivers out there and I also drive. So, I'm daily out there, seeing what's going on, every single day.
Right.
So, I had to make sure that I keep some type of, just washing my hands as much as possible, and now I kind of see, because at first when it started hitting, they really haven't started really doing all the social distancing until now this week.
Right.
Because at first, when I first was looking at it, I was like, well, for my drivers, they out there, they by themselves in a truck, but then it's not. Now they actually in the public a lot.
Right.
You around a lot of people when you go into warehouses and, then dealing with a lot of other, individuals that's traveling from state to state too as well.
Right.
So it's good, like you just bringing that up, for anyone that didn't know that, like that's one of the things that I have. I have a logistics company. So
we definitely give a salute to you, brother. Like I say, truck drivers, doctors, nurses during this time, those out there preparing the food for us, still at this time, working in the grocery stores and stuff like that.
I ain't even be worried about them, G.
Salute.
Yeah, man. I'm like, man, the people that's at the grocery stores, man, this is a big risk.
Exactly.
And so saluting them, and they got the courage to go out there. They, they not in panic mode.
Exactly.
So when you hear stories like you was telling me the other day, what a guy put a gun out on two women or something like what happened?
Yeah, they said in the post office it was an older guy. He actually pulled out a gun on these two older women because they came too close to him. They wasn't doing the proper social distancing, so he pulled out a gun on them and telling them to get back. So that's huge panic mode and fear right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like those things, that's overboard.
Right.
That's overboard. This is, the thing is, this is what I think, and I don't really want to get into this content, but just speaking right now off the top of my head, what I actually see from the masses, all right? Because we do talk about the 1%.
Right.
And one of the things is a lot of people they do have that fear of lack and a fear mentality most of the time instead of thinking optimistic and abundance. So when you think about just when negativity started to hit, people already living their day-to-day lives already maybe in a negative way. Right. In a fearful way.
Right, I agree.
Because like if we was all thinking abundance, like not trying to like say we trying to knock somebody out to get over on them. You know what I mean? Right. It's enough wealth for everyone.
Exactly. And it's enough to go around for everybody.
Everyone. Keeping secret, just all type of stuff. When you got that mindset of lack, that's why crime gets into play. Right. You know what I mean? And all that because you have a mindset of lack. Right. You know what I mean? Or fear or whatever, whatnot. Right. And if more people was to think of abundance. Right. And being optimistic about life, understand that we have, just like we talked about, Jim Rohn was our 1% of the week last week. Right. And Jim Rohn says it best, he was like, he got introduced to speak to these business professionals and they wanted him to predict how business will be for the upcoming years. And Jim Rohn said business was going to be in the upcoming years just like it has always been. Right. Like after winter is what?
is
spring.
Right.
You know what I mean? At the spring is summer. At the summer is fall. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And things gonna go up and down. You're gonna have certain things that's gonna happen in life. You know what I mean? And I always looked at it, wherever good is at, there's evil. You know what I mean? And wherever there's evil, there's good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, and if you haven't read this book, one book that I love, it's one of my favorite books. And I know we ask a lot of our interviewees this, what's some of the best books that they have, you know what I mean, that they have big impacts on their life.
Right.
And one is, for me, is Outwitting the Devil.
Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill.
By Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I would recommend for anyone to read that book.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Definitely give you a different outlook.
Right.
You know, just, it's so funny in what about reading Outwitting the Devil, because, as you know, Outwitting the Devils was written in, well, I can't tell you the exact year, but it was way before its time. You know what I mean?
Right.
The things that it talked about was going on in the present day. Right. And it was written back in the early 1900s.
Exactly.
So,
and it was actually said that they didn't even want Napoleon Hill to actually even release that information. Right. Mm-hmm. So at times a lot of people say Think and Grow Rich by, you know, Napoleon Hill. They say it's kind of more of a watered down version of Outwitting the Devil. Not saying that, you know, Think and Grow Rich is not a powerful book. But they were saying in terms of Outwitting the Devil, they didn't really want him to release that particular book because of the information, you know, that's in it. Right. And stuff like that. So definitely, you know, grab that book, you know, Outwitting the Devil, or listen to the audio book.
Recommend it.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this is information you won't find in pretty much any other book, I would say. Yeah, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's start off with this, G. You know, let's start off with a definition of fear and anxiety. Like, what's your definition of fear?
Yeah, fear is false evidence appearing real. All right, it's something that hasn't even happened yet. All right, but we already have all these mixed up emotions in terms of what could happen, but it hasn't happened yet. It's not even real. Right, something made up.
Exactly. And then just to hit on, like, like even anxiety, right? Like, you would just read what the definition of anxiety is: a intense, excessive, and persistent worry and fear about everyday situations. You know, anxiety is only an indicator of underlying disease when feelings become excessive, all-consuming, and interfere with your daily living. And and that's what I mean, what we're facing now.
Right now, right.
Because we gotta still live our lives. Exactly. And we can't just sit and worry. Right. And have this consume and take over us as individuals out here, you know. Right. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and just get into some of the ways that you can overcome fear and anxiety. Right. And the first way that I have here is you had to rely on a higher power. Yeah. All right. I'm a man of faith. All right. And like we were speaking about last time, when you in a time of uncertain, it's not for me to figure it out. You know what I mean? I only could control what I can control. Right, exactly. You know, things gonna happen that's out of my control. Right. So I cannot figure out everything. It's not for me. Right. So I had to start leaning to, you know what I mean, well, like for me, a higher power, you know what I mean, my Lord and Savior. So that's just me, you know, and I feel if you have any type of belief, any type of faith, this is a time we should always do it, but this is when you definitely understand that, hey, I had that understanding, this is what I'm going to lean on. Right. You know? Exactly. Don't lean on your own understanding. Right. And prayer is key, and just staying connected to whoever your higher power is during this time and really during all times. And more faith over fear. And don't pray and worry. Right? If you're going to pray, you shouldn't be worried. Right? And so with that being said, you definitely need to lean onto some type of higher power at this time. I mean, I know who our higher power, who we connected with, but, you know, whoever you pray to, you connected with in terms of spirituality,
you need to really be leaning on that at this time.
Absolutely.
And focus, like you said, on what you can control.
Right.
Not things that you can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's number one, just relying on a higher power. Number two is, this got to do a lot with anxiety. You know what I mean? When I feel like you in that type of anxiety state, and we're not talking about anxiety attacks, it's a whole nother topic, but I definitely feel like you should meditate.
Yeah. Getting in the place of stillness, just being calm, clearing your thoughts, just clearing all the chatter in your head. And like I say, just detaching from all this stuff that's going on right now in the world, right?
Right. And I mean, and there's certain things too you can even help with that. Like for me, I like essential oils. I would say try that. Try some essential oils. They got these type of rocks that you can use, that you can hold, that has different texture. I can't think of it. The name of the rocks. I can't think of the name of the rocks, but they, you can hold them in your hand and it gives you a sense of calmness, And another thing too, for me, I mean, I'm a big hemp fan. You know what I'm saying? I love CBD,
right,
hemp. You know what I mean? So other people, man, they may like weed. Well, what's the professional way to say it?
Cannabis.
Right. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, just just things that like nature.
Right.
You know what I mean? Things of the nature. Going outside, finding. Just enjoying the air. Yeah. The gratitude, just nature itself.
Right.
Nature could speak to you and tell you stories.
I do that a lot, even myself. I mean, I've done that a lot over the last several years of having a home-based business because I'm always at home working. And so I have to, at times, just take me a walk around the neighborhood to clear my thoughts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, too, it's just a place to reset for me. And I come up with a lot of ideas, too, when I just walk, just walk along. Right. So that's what I do a lot of times when I'm just all the time working from home and stuff. I have to get out the house and just take that walk, take that stroll, clear my head, clear my thoughts, kind of detach away from work and stuff like that. Right. And just be by myself, be with myself. That's the key. At that time.
Yeah, man. Detach yourself from everyone else, you know what I mean? Like, right now, perfect. Exactly. You got to do that on a daily.
Exactly.
Like, just detach yourself from the news. Detach yourself from everyone. Because this is the main topic that you're going to hear anyway. Right. So, get your mind right. Meditate. You know what I mean? Before you even step out. Yeah. Or get on the phone with someone, so you already be in that positive state. Right. Yep. So, yeah, that's number 2, man. Just meditation. Number 3 is seeking positive guidance. For me, examples of positive guidance are like a pastor, some type of spiritual leader. That's good positive guidance. Exactly. What about you got any other examples for maybe like positive guidance?
Yeah. Mentors.
Yep, definitely mentors.
Mentors, which is we talked about on podcasts before. Mm-hmm. Who are your mentors, or you need to identify some mentors during this time.
Mm-hmm. What you think about therapy?
Yes, I haven't never really looked into therapy like that on a serious note. Yeah, I really haven't. I can't really speak too much on it. Right. On my end.
Yeah, me either. Being honest, I never seen myself really sitting down, explaining my problems to a stranger or whatever.
And some of the people that I know that went through therapy told me it didn't really do much for them. The people that I know, I'm not saying that's for everybody, but for some of the people that I've spoken to that went through, they say it didn't do a whole lot more for them. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. And then they still was feeling the anxiety and stress and whatever the case may be, even after that. Right. Now, I'm not saying therapy is bad for all people. I'm just saying that's what I've been told. And like I said, I've never really dove into it. I've never went through therapy, so I can't really speak a whole lot on it. But I'm just saying from people that I've spoken to.
Yeah, well, I feel like if you are taking therapy classes or you got a therapist or whatever, and it's beneficial for you, that's something that I feel like at this time go ahead and do that too as well.
Yeah.
You know, anything that's going, you know, any type of guidance that's going to give you a different mindset other than fear, other than anxiety. Anybody, surround yourself with individuals that's still optimistic, that's still making moves, that's still
positive.
Still positive. You know what I mean? You got to. You know, so can't get caught up, man, just what everyone's always talking about out here about this you know, what's going on right now in the world.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so yeah, that's number 3, man. Just you know, seeking positive guidance. Number 4 is you don't want to overthink.
Don't overthink.
Yeah. And all right, so I want to hit on a couple of things about overthinking, right? When it comes down to fear, all right? Because there's so many things, there's so many ways this could play out, right? You know, like us as men or whatever, whatnot, we see a beautiful woman, you know what I mean? I know for me, you know what I mean? Like you may see a beautiful woman, whatever, whatnot, and you could overthink and then don't take no action.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Then she go right by you, you be like,
exactly.
You know,
What the hell is wrong with you?
Nothing.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
you don't never think. So when you just move on it, you know what I'm saying? Once you get the feeling, don't even overthink it.
Right.
Just go ahead and, you know what I mean, face it, man. Just, you know what I'm saying, go dive right in.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying, like with that. Yeah. Especially with a woman, times you be thinking like, am I dressed up to par, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Am I up to par, period, right?
Yeah. Right. And see, man, I hate to say it, man. A lot of times people gotta be under the influence and stuff because they ain't thinking no more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You gotta get a couple shots of Hennessy or something in your system, man, just to go out. So,
Loosen up, huh?
Yeah, to loosen up a little bit. But you know, even if like that's one thing though, like if you want to really just overcome it, just you know, just
do it.
Just do it. You know what I mean? Just do it. Don't even think about it too long. All right.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man, I think that's a great example, man, how to overcome fear.
Right.
All right. So yeah, the next one, number 5, is now this is the opposite. You know, just staying prepared for the worst. All right. And why I say the opposite because then you have to think. You know what I mean? That means you need to be prepared though for the worst.
Right.
You know, so you need to have a plan.
I agree.
You're right.
Like right now, I would say, like, if you are an entrepreneur or business owner, I would say right now, you need to definitely make sure your bills are paid, but you also need to be looking for sound investments during this time. You don't need to be buying houses right now, you know, unless you're in real estate. You know, but I'm talking about you don't need to be purchasing a new home right now for you and your family. Not at this time, right? Now, if you're making investments in real estate, that's fine. And you know what you're doing with that, that's fine. But I'm talking about buying cars and stuff like not right at this moment.
Liabilities.
Right, yeah. Like,
you know what I mean?
You don't want to be putting your money. And I'm not saying I'm a financial advisor. I'm just saying, like, this is what I recommend.
Yeah.
If you're going to put money into anything, if you're going to be putting money into anything, it needs to be like sound investments. That can make you some money during these times. That's it.
Right.
Really, at this time. And, you know, if you are experiencing job loss or layoff at this time, this is a great time to get creative and think about potentially creating something that could solve a problem or looking into some type of business model, period, that you can leverage during this time to generate income.
Right.
That's what you should be doing at this time, just in case this thing goes on for a little longer than expected.
Right, and then just to hit on that, because like a lot of times people feel like they have to create something all the time. You don't always.
No, you don't have to create nothing all the time. That's what I was saying. You can leverage other people's products and services.
Other businesses. Even if you want to even do your own business, you could just duplicate what's already been done and just successful.
Right.
You know, and there's a lot of times just to put that out there, because this is a time that if you have, like I said, experienced any type of furloughs, any type of layoffs, whatever. Right. This is a time for you to be creative. Right. And don't overthink it like we just said.
Exactly.
You know, just put a plan together. Right. Follow what's already out there, you know. So definitely, that's like I said, that's a good thing, man. That we just came up with, man. Just being prepared, man, for the worst.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then when you prepared, then you have no room for anxiety. You have no room for being overwhelmed. When you're overwhelmed, it means you're not prepared.
Right.
You're not ready. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely. And if if it's a hard, like you haven't had any money saved up, now this is a wake up call for you.
Exactly.
Time to wake up.
But definitely in the future, when
Exactly.
things do get all the way back right with the economy, etc. You need to be more prepared if you wasn't prepared this time. In terms of ways that you may have spent your money, to saving your money, to investing your money.
Exactly. Because like what we said earlier, it's seasons.
Right.
Hey, I'm pretty sure this is something. The economy gonna go up again,
right,
and fall again.
Exactly.
All right. So it's seasons to this.
Right.
So be prepared. All right.
Yep.
So yeah, that was number 5, and then number 6. All right, retracting your footsteps.
Yeah.
So what I mean by retracting your footsteps, man, just figuring out why is you scared in the first place? How did it all start?
Yeah, where did the fear and the anxiety come from?
Where did it come from? Foundation of it.
Right.
So that's something that, you want to think about it. Like, whatever it is, like, if you're scared of a dog, you know what I mean? You got to go back to, where did that first, time that, you know what I'm saying?
I remember one of my buddies, you actually know him too. He actually went to high school with us, and he was one of the quarterbacks. I'm not going to say his name. But what I will say is I'll never forget, like, we in the cafeteria at school, and it was somebody's birthday, and they had all these balloons. And, like, they would come around him with the balloons, and he'll get serious. He'd be ready to fight, like, get them balloons away from me. Like, he had this thing about balloons. Yes, like, he would go crazy. Like, if you came around with balloons, he'll literally be ready to fight.
Oh, wow.
And it was... I had a discussion with him about it one day because we found that kind of like, everything cool. And he was just saying something happened in his childhood, but he never told us specifically what happened.
Yeah.
But he just had this thing about balloons. Right? So like you just said, like retracting the footsteps, where did the fear, anxiety? Maybe it's something happened in their childhood. Right? So we got to cut that root in terms of the fruit. Yeah.
And I think that's key for parents too, like when it comes down to your children, whatever it's something that when something happens to your child, like go ahead and take action immediately on whatever they're afraid of, to make them face it. Right. And matter of fact, okay, yeah, that's in the that's in the notes. But just, you know what I'm saying, like you gotta hit on those situations quickly. Right. So they can overcome it. You know what I mean? You don't want this to linger. And then they being a grown man, or like you say, this is in high school, man. Right. And this man scared of balloons. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to be a teenager or a grown man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Afraid of certain things. So it's like, as parents, that's something that you want to attack just early on when it comes down to you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to your kids and everything. Right. Yep. Exactly. All right. So moving on to the number 7. Create a better version of your own story. Right. All right. So, meaning to me, when you create a better version of your own story, have a better imagination. Just imagine. You know what I mean? Like, it's all like you said, man. When it goes back to fear, it's like fake. You know what I mean? It's false evidence. Yeah. So you gotta reverse that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Take that out the universe.
Change that story. Yeah. Change the narrative. Right.
All right, and just change the narrative about it. So yeah, that's number 7. Just change your story, having a great imagination. We hit on this, which I'm gonna say it. Face it. Just go directly. Face whatever fear it is. I heard. I took this away for someone one time. Right. You know what I mean? It was like the most thing that you may could be fear of could be the thing that's holding you back. You know what I mean? It could be like. Just say you haven't found out your talent yet. That could be your best talent or passion.
Right. Yeah. One of my mentors used to say all the time, the thing that holds most people back is the BS story they keep telling themselves.
Yep. Exactly.
From accomplishing their goals. Made up stories. Gotta change the story, change the narrative, change your beliefs.
Right. So yeah, that's number 8. Just face it, and then number 9 is just just be able to slow down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You start having anxiety. Slow down everything. Kind of start breathing a little bit slower.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just start listening to your body. Mm-hmm. Like I said, having attacks and stuff, that's a whole nother topic. But definitely, you want to learn your body. You want to understand it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you start getting into in a type of state of mind where you sweating and you panicking or whatnot, that's when it's time to like breathe slow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's that. And then number 10. Gratitude. Having gratitude. Mm-hmm. Understand that living a every day is the biggest blessing to have.
Exactly.
And when you have that type of gratitude, to me, why live in fear?
Right.
When you understand that you still here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you got up this morning, that means you got purpose.
Exactly.
And also to have more to be grateful for, you got to be grateful for what you already have.
Yep.
So gratitude is definitely key.
It's key. Yeah, definitely key. Yep. So having gratitude, always live in the moment.
Right.
All right. And then we're gonna end it off. This my last one. And then if you got any more, you can hit on it. This is another one I was telling one of my cousins this the other day. And this is not to let others impose their fears on you. All right. Just because you see it all around you, all over the world, on television, on the signs, on the highways, your friends talking about it, whatever they fear, it don't matter if it's a business or any type of opportunity. Don't never let anyone place their fears on you.
Right.
Don't never let that happen,
Yeah. Environment definitely can do that.
Yeah.
Being around other people that's always fearful or talking negative and stuff like that can rub off on you. Yeah, so you got to stay in a positive environment, keep positive company, positive associations, so you can stay positive.
Right.
Right.
Yep. But yeah, man, I mean, that's all I have. You got anything else? Yeah.
We pretty much covered everything, I believe.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, we going on to the next segment where we gonna go to the 1%er. What you say on the week?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. 1% of the week. So the 1%er of this week is definitely a mentor to many. I know he's been a mentor to me, even from afar. And I've been studying this guy's work and listening to his sermons literally for years now. From on YouTube to even TV. And I plan on actually visiting his actual church in the near future. But he's, like I say, he's definitely huge in terms of his work as a pastor, serving people all over the globe. He has a lot of books out there and stuff. Author, I actually just got one of his books myself, which is Soar. Mm-hmm. I just actually got the book, about ready to dive into it. But like I said, he's a husband, he's a father, and he's also an entrepreneur. He's a businessman as well.
Absolutely.
And our 1%er of this week is none other than Bishop T.D. Jakes.
What God is concerned about in us is the fact that we do not believe. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth on him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. It's so simple, we miss it all the time. We give him works, we give him duties, we give him all kinds of sacrifices. We wear long dresses, we got big ectuses on our car, big crosses around your neck, about to break your neck down, trying to carry a cross in. Bible bigger than a 2-year-old baby, walking around trying to be spiritual, walking around in the mall with a family Bible, trying to be spiritual. None of that is going to count as much as simply taking God at his word, believing what he has said about you, walking in truth and in clarity, and having peace of mind. Somebody holler, I believe.
You might say, well, my afflictions are not light. Well, weight is relative. There are some people whose afflictions are much darker than ours. I think that what most of us are suffering from, aside from those that are dealing with the vicissitudes of contracting the virus, I think what the rest of us are suffering from is anxiety. And anxiety is a virus within itself. It affects our emotions, it confuses our hearts, it troubles our spirits. We get all kinds of images of what could happen and what might happen, and what are we going to do about tomorrow, and what are we going to do about next week and next month. And we're in a state of disruption. Our normal has been disrupted in a most assaulting sort of way. It wasn't by choice. It wasn't gradually. It was suddenly. Everything that you call normal has suddenly changed. And it is during those times that your faith comes up under trial. And I wanted to challenge you today. My subject was faith trumps emotions. And I use that term because so many of us unconsciously walk in our emotions more than our faith. And it doesn't really show up until a real storm comes up. When a real storm comes up, you get to see how much of your walk with God is based on emotions and circumstances and situations, and how much of it is based on raw faith in God.
Yeah, Bishop T.D. Jakes, and I hope y'all definitely got something out of that for the segment that we just played for you guys. He has an amazing story.
Yeah.
To be the kind of leader he is, and that's one thing I can get him, on that too, just the leader that he is.
Right. Exactly.
So therefore I know he has impacted a lot of people around the world.
Right.
His story can hit on so many aspects in life that you could take away from. Yeah. So like I said, Yeah,
he definitely came a long way.
Yeah, he has. Yep. Just listening to his story.
Yeah.
So, picking up. So I definitely advise. I have dove in one of his books, didn't finish reading all the way. But Soar, Yeah, Soar. I used to see that all the time on the shelves at Walmart when I be there. I was like, I read through a little bit of that too as well.
Yeah.
So I definitely advise, just picking up his books.
Absolutely.
He has plenty of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
There it is.
Yep. So yeah, man. So it was just to go ahead and we're gonna end it on off. We felt like this is something important for us to talk about. Like I said, this is something that you can apply to your everyday life. When it comes down to your lifestyle, to your income, to your business. So maybe in the future, like you guys, if you see any type of value, you want us to hit a little bit when it comes down to money. Fears about money, fears about anything dealing with your business, definitely leave a comment. Let us know. And I feel like it's something that we should go back and hit on, later on down the road.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your comments on everything that we talked about in this podcast. And how do you plan on overcoming any fears that you may have at this particular time? We'd love to hear them. Drop the comments down below.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, other than that, G, you got anything else you want to add?
Yeah, what I do want to share on this week's podcast is I do want to give, you all a free gift in this time right now for you all that may be experiencing layoffs, jobs lost, looking for ways to potentially maybe start a business during this time that could generate income for you and your family. Or even if you have a business at this time and your business is taking a hit, you want to discover strategies to leverage online to really still keep your business, with a consistent flow of customers and clients and making money, during these times. I have a training online, basically discovering strategies the top 1% use to dominate. And pretty much all you have to do, I'm going to give you the URL to the training, is geraldbass.com/1%. geraldbass.com/1%. Go over to the link. All you got to do is put your name and email in the form. You get access to the training. And also, just for any more information on the Rise of 1%, you just go to the riseof1%.com. In terms of our academy, we have information over there as well. And subscribe to this podcast so you can consistently be, updated every time we drop some. Give us 5 stars.
5 stars.
If you got value out of this podcast, and feel free to share it around with anyone else you feel could benefit. Besides that, that's it on my end.
Awesome. Well, go ahead and just take it away. Oh, yeah, and I just want to say that's the thing about it. Like in this time, like we do this all the time, but especially this is a time to really hang on to someone that's out here that has experience, that knows what to do, knows how to build online, because this is like the time where you got to know how to leverage the online space.
Right.
So, so I would take heed to whatever it is, to what we offering.
Right.
And like I said, just that time just to really hold on someone we ain't right now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
exactly. There it is.
Yep.
So with that said, definitely push through the fear. Continue to charge, keep pushing during these times. Mm-hmm. Remember this, it won't rain forever, it don't storm forever. Sunshine is definitely on its way for all of us.
Yep.
So let's keep pushing. And we definitely look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Till then, have a phenomenal day on purpose. Have a great one.